At 66 years old, the tragedy of Sade Adu is beyond heartbreaking. She was the queen of smooth soul, the voice that defined a generation. But behind the fame, the awards, and the timeless music, was a woman living through pain the world never truly saw. Stick around until the end, because the most heartbreaking part of her story is also the most inspiring. Sade wasn't just an artist. She was a mystery. A legend who disappeared at the height of her success. And the reason why will leave you speechless. In the 80s and 90s, Sade was unstoppable. Smooth operator. No ordinary love. By your side. These weren't just songs, they were emotions wrapped in velvet. Her voice became the soundtrack of heartbreaks, of long drives under city lights, and of love stories that never had an ending. Audiences didn't just listen to Sade, they felt her. Her music was therapy, her concerts a kind of spiritual escape. The moment she stepped on stage, the world stood still. She was flawless, elegant, and untouchable. But while millions adored her, Sade herself was fighting a different reality. Behind the closed doors of her private life were cracks no one could see. Broken relationships left her scarred. Rumors from tabloids chased her constantly. And the heavy crown of fame began to suffocate her spirit. For most, fame is a dream. For Sade, it became a prison. Every smile, every performance, every interview, was another mask she had to wear. And then came the hardest chapter of her life, her only child's painful struggle with identity. The world can be cruel, and Sade knew it better than anyone. She realized her child didn't need a superstar. They needed a mother. A protector. A shield against a society that would not always understand. So, she made a decision few could even imagine. She walked away. From screaming fans. From flashing cameras. From the millions who adored her. She stepped off the stage. Not because she lost her voice, but because love demanded her silence. Think about that sacrifice. How many artists at the very top of their careers would give it all up just to sit quietly at home, to hold their child's hand through storms the world never even saw? That is who Sade Adu really was. If you're a true Sade fan, this is the part of her story you need to know, because it changes everything. Today, at 66, Sade lives in near silence. No red carpets. No flashing cameras. No new music in years. The world that once couldn't get enough of her voice barely hears from her now. Her tragedy isn't age. It isn't fading fame. Her tragedy is the loneliness. The heartbreak. The invisible scars of choices that most people will never understand. The woman who once filled arenas with tens of thousands of voices singing her songs, now spends her life in quiet anonymity. A life without applause. A life where the echoes of her past glory are her only company. But here's what makes her story even more powerful. While her silence feels like a tragedy, it is also the ultimate act of love. Because in giving up her spotlight, Sade showed us that music may touch millions, but family comes first. Think about it. The same woman who gave us some of the greatest love songs in history has lived a life filled with heartbreak herself. She gave us music that healed wounds, even as she carried wounds no one could see. Sade Adu's story is not just about music. It's about sacrifice. About a mother's love. About the heavy price of being extraordinary. At 66, her silence is heartbreaking. But her courage is unforgettable. Because behind every note Sade sang was a storm she chose to face alone. So the next time her voice drifts through your speakers, remember, this isn't just music. This is the sound of a woman who gave the world everything, and asked for nothing in return. And if you've ever felt that her songs touched your soul, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Which Sade track healed you the most?